The scary thing about Mr. Cruel is that he's still out there today. He was never found or captured. Mr. Cruel was a masked child predator. This happened in 1987 in the suburbs of Melbourne, Australia. Mr. Cruel's attacks were so calculated he never left a shred of evidence behind. On his first attack, he tied the parents up from their hands and legs, and then cut all the phone lines so nobody could be contacted. And then he did things that I cannot talk about on here. He did those things to children. He did this 4 times from 1987 all the way up until 1991. 4 kids were abducted or assaulted, and nobody could identify him because he was so good at hiding the evidence. He was also so good at hiding his identity, he wore a mask. Because he left no evidence, it was really hard to identify him, obviously, but anytime they would think they found evidence, it was actually Mr. Cruel setting up misinformation so nobody could identify him. He faked an entire phone call during an invasion of a family's home. When they tried to look up the phone records, none could be found. Mr. Cruel would apparently stake out victims for weeks or months to memorize their schedule so he could plan his attack. On his last attack, he knew the family would be gone and the 13-year-old would be babysitting her 2 siblings. On that same night, as soon as the parents were gone, he invaded and did his usual thing. The last victim was Carmaine Chan. He abused her and then abducted her, locking her 2 younger siblings in the closet. They called for their father. The police rushed there as well, but everything was done. He was gone. The Chan family put a $300,000 reward if their daughter was found or brought back. The police were also involved in this. They were trying to set up Mr. Cruel and actually find out who he was. However, Carmaine Chan was never ever found again. Years later, a man walking his dog came upon a decomposed skeleton that was identified as Carmaine Chan. An autopsy found 3 bullet wounds to her skull. The police tried to narrow down to 30,000 suspects. They even surveilled over 30,000 houses and 15,000 people for questions. Every time they would get a name or some information, the trail would run cold. Anytime they had a lead on anything, it would just die out. To this day, Mr. Cruel has still not been identified. Who knows if he's still out there or if he's passed away by now. Whatever it may be, his crimes and his case are just absolutely terrifying. Let me know what you guys think about Mr. Cruel's case in the comment section below. And as always, these videos are for informational purposes only.